Hey everyone, Dave from Retired with Purpose. So, I've been talking about this video for a bit now. And by the way, thanks for watching. And I really appreciate all the new subscribers. But this video is going to be if you're retired and you're selling on eBay, this video is going to be the most important video that you're ever going to see. That's a big claim, and I'm going to back it up and I'm going to prove it. So, what is this super valuable information that we're talking about here? The one that's going to change your eBay experience? This is sell through rates, all about STR. Let's not hesitate. Let's jump right into this. Okay, so first off, what is sell through rate? Sell through rate is showing the performance of how your items are doing in the eBay marketplace. So, if your sell through rate, if you've got items in your store, you've got 100 items in your store, and every 90 days you've sold 50 of those items, that's a 50% sell through rate. Kind of simple. Um, but that's not what matters. How your store's sell through rate is going doesn't matter. It will take care of itself. So, what do I mean by that? When you're out and you're buying, especially when you're new and you're looking at these different items, you can be wowed by different things, and you will buy things that you shouldn't have bought. You'll find that out very quickly, and that's what the purpose of this video is to prevent that from happening, giving you the knowledge of what it takes that doesn't happen. So it happens to a lot of new eBayers, and by the way, we're kind of talking privately. All those young eBayers are gonna see retiree in the title of this video, and they're gonna skip right over it. They don't know some of what I'm going to tell you. So you've got kind of a leg up on some of those other competitors that people worry about. I see on my comments all the time, people will say, "Well, eBay doesn't work," or "It doesn't work for me." And I always encourage these people, keep your mind open and learn. There's so many different things that you can learn, and this is going to be an important one that I'm going to tell you today. So while you're trying to learn on your own, you're winging it, you're going to find items that you're going to go, oh my goodness, I can buy this item for $5 and it's worth $50. Well, yes and no. You don't know that, and that's what sell-through rate is all about. So what happens is when you're new and you're winging it and you're buying things, sometimes you'll buy just to buy, and your pile grows. And, that pile, it they call it a death pile, which I think is, wrong. I believe originally it was called a debt pile, which is how I will talk about it, because that's what it is. It's a pile of stuff that it's your debt. You've paid for it. You're not getting the things listed. You don't want to list it because you run into a rut of things are not selling in your store or whatever. But that's because of how you bought. And that's where sell through rate comes in. So, like I said, your sell through rate on your store is not what matters. What matters is the sell through rate, the STR, on what you buy. That's when you make your money. So, I'll just use this little tape measure as a little prop here. Let's say I go out and I'm sourcing for items and I come across this tape measure. And this is some big name tape measure company, and it sells for 20 to $30, let's say. And I don't know that yet. I haven't checked. Now, here's a first mistake a lot of people do. They'll use the eBay app and they will scan the barcode. You may be guilty of doing that. I used to do it a long time ago. Wrong thing to do. And here's why. If you scan the barcode on Amazon, it will pull up the item. You will see the item. But if you scan the item with barcode on eBay, you're not required by eBay to enter the barcode in your listing when you list it. So if I scan the barcode on this item, it may say there's 5 listings, but then I go through and type in the brand name, the, description of it, and I punch all those things in, and all of a sudden I see there's not 5 listings, there's 500 listings. Makes a big difference on my decision to buy. So let's jump off of the barcode for a minute. You don't want to do that. You just want to type in the description. So we've typed in the description of this item, and it says that there's 100 listings. Now, what matters is the solds. And it's just the same thing in real estate. I don't care what you're asking for your house, doesn't matter. What matters is the sold listings in your area. So that's what's important. What I need to do is I need to find out how many of these have sold and for what price. So that's what's next. I will go look this up, find the listings. There's 100. Then I filter those listings by solds. And when I click the filter for solds, it shows me that there's been 90 of them that sold. 90. There's 100 listings and 90 have sold in the last 90 days. That's a 90% sell through rate. That's a good sell-through rate. Anytime that you're above 70% sell-through rate, it's pretty good, and the closer you get to 100 or over 100, better. So, that's what you want to look at is the sell-through rate on the item. So, if I buy that item, I know within 90 days I can sell that item. Now, do I want to up my odds of selling that item? Sure. If I list that towards the upper end of how much they sold for, it's probably gonna take 90 days to sell it. If I put it in the middle of what they sold for, if it's a $20 to $30 item and I list it for 25, you know what? It's not gonna take 90 days, it might take 60 days. But if I wanna get aggressive and I wanna lower the price down into that lower end, closer to that $20, it's not gonna take 90 days or 60 days. I might sell it in a week. So, sell-through rate is extremely important. Why build your inventory with items that have a low sell-through rate and then wonder why things aren't selling? You don't wanna do that. You want to buy things that do sell. That's what's going to improve your store and your experience on eBay. So the other things that you can do to help your listing, first, good titles. Make sure your listing title is right. Make sure that the brand's in there and a good description of it in the description area. Make sure that you have a nice description of the area, but very important are good photos. A nice title, good description doesn't do anything if you've got horrible photos. Take good photos. Now, there's a problem with different opinions about photos. There are people say you need to fill up your photos. You need whatever it is, 10, 12, 14 photos. I don't agree with that. If I have a fast moving item, I know it's a fast moving item because I've checked the sell through rate. I can put up 3 or 4 photos, good quality photos, and that's fine. It cuts down the time it takes me to list. So that's why I said earlier, your store sell-through rate is not the number that matters. Number that matters is the sell-through rate of the items that you're buying. And that's why I said your sell-through rate of your store will take care of itself. If all you're buying are high sell-through rate items, if you're buying things that are over 70%, well, your store is going to reflect that. Your store is going to be over 70% too. It will take care of itself. It's during the buy that you have to be careful. So you don't want a debt pile. Now, what can you do with a debt pile if you have one? I know several of my subscribers and watchers out there, they've been doing eBay for a long time. What do you do with your debt pile? Well, it's the same thing. You have to make decisions on each items. I've got one too. Back when I was learning some of these things, it grew and I've got some things. I have choices. I could donate them. I don't want to donate them. There's some value in them. I could put them on Facebook Marketplace or something. Now, why would they sell Facebook Marketplace? Well, like I just mentioned a little while ago, there's people that's going to skip over this video. They don't know about sell through rate. I can list it on Facebook Marketplace. They look it up and they go, "Oh wow, there's 100 of these listings for $100 a piece, and he only wants 10," and they'll come and buy my item for 10, not knowing that there's no solds, and they're going to have it forever. It's knowledge. There's so much information out there that if you find the right information, it will it will change your life. Hopefully, that's what it will do for all of my retiree eBay side hustlers is don't get stocked up on slow moving items. Just look for those fast sell through rates. But I could donate my old pile. I could sell some on Facebook Marketplace, but a lot of that pile for me are high value items. So in other words, you know that I always look at 10 times my money and sometimes much higher than that. I have $10 in it and it may be worth 100. Doesn't have a great sell through rate. It might have 30% sell through rate, but I know it's going to sell and it will. It may take a year, but when it does, I paid $20 for the item and it's worth 200. I can't get that rate of return just anywhere. So you want to stock your store with fast STR sell through rate items. And on each individual item, you have to make a decision if it's worth your time or not. So on sell through rates, let's talk about the different ones for a moment. And again, if I'm willing to stick with something for a while and I know that it's going to sell, it's going to take a long time, I need to be able to make a lot of money on it. I just showed a Carhartt coat that's $5 and it's going to be worth over 100. The typical solds are in the $150 range on the coat that I have. I know we're in the springtime of the year. It's gonna be this fall or winter. I'm gonna have it. I don't mind. I'll set it aside. I will store it back for 6 or 9 months or whatever before it sells, but I know it will sell, and it just so happens to be Carhartt are a really fast-moving, high sell-through item, and if you didn't know that, it's on some of my Bolo, videos. You need to go look up the Bolo videos and watch them. That's be on lookout for those items. And again, now you need to create your own BOLO list. Create that list so you have that information in your back pocket when you're out and you're sourcing. So, what are good sell through rates? I personally go for at least 50% sell through rate. I don't want to waste my time or efforts. I'm retired. I don't wanna stock my store with things that's gonna take forever to sell. I just don't wanna do that. So that's my rule of thumb is 50%. 60%, that's better. I mean, you're doing better and you're on the right track, but you want to push that on up. You want 75% or better sell-through rates. But again, sourcing and buying for eBay, it's a personal thing. You have to look at each individual item and determine if it's something that you don't mind sitting on for a while. But the rule of thumb, fast moving items will make you money on eBay. So I've got some new digs here, new microphone, new camera setup. What do you think? If you like this kind of information, guys, like and subscribe. Please leave comments. I need to know the information that you're looking for. And on this particular subject, I do have an ebook that will be coming out that would be a good guide for you about sell through rates. But if you like it, like, subscribe, guys. Be retired with purpose. I'll see you on my next video.